On this vote, the yeas are 213 and the nays are 209. With 6 answering present, the resolution adopted. Without objection, the motion to consider is laid on the table. House will be in order. I'll wait.
That was the chaotic scene on the House floor yesterday after Republicans voted to censure Democrat Adam Schiff for being a meaniehead to Donald Trump. Okay, that wasn't quite what their reasoning was. Schiff, a former Intel committee chair, was censured over comments he made years ago during investigations into former President Donald Trump and the Trump campaign's ties to Russia, which interfered in the 2016 election to aid Trump, special counsel Robert Mueller found. The censure resolution rebukes Schiff for what it calls his, quote, misleading the American public and for conduct unbecoming of an elected member of the House of Representatives, close quote. A vote to censure a member of Congress doesn't actually mean that much beyond a public condemnation of the member's behavior. It doesn't take away any privileges in Congress or expel the member. The resolution did, however, also direct the House Ethics Committee to investigate Schiff's actions. In response, Adam Schiff thanked his Republican colleagues.
To my Republican colleagues who introduced this resolution, I thank you. You honor me with your enmity. You flatter me with this falsehood. You who are the authors of a big lie about the last election must condemn the truth tellers, and I stand proudly before you. Your words tell me that I have been effective in the defense of our democracy, and I am grateful. And yet this false and defamatory resolution comes at a considerable cost to the country and to the Congress. At a moment when millions of people in our home state of California are unable to find a place to live or afford a place to live, Speaker McCarthy chooses to occupy the resources of Congress for 2 straight weeks on this hollow sop to the MAGA crowd. Donald Trump is under indictment for actions that jeopardize our national security, and McCarthy would spend the nation's time on petty political payback, thinking he can censure or fine Trump's opposition into submission. But I will not yield, not 1 inch.
Bold words right there from Adam Schiff. I'm curious your thoughts on this, Cenk, because obviously Adam Schiff is kind of a mixed bag.
So it was an eloquent speech, but it was almost too eloquent. When he said, you honor me with your enmity. That's a good line for a book, but did people understand what he was saying? Did the average voter understand he wasn't actually thanking them? He was saying, what FDR said much clearer. FDR said, I welcome your hatred. Everybody gets that, right? It's crystal clear. So I mean, look, he's no FDR. It's a high bar, right?
One counterpoint on that, though, is I think to some degree with the Republican base being maybe not the sharpest tools in the shed, just him thanking them for what they did, just that word, I think diffuses their action to a lot of people because that clip's gonna make them think, oh, he's happy about it? Even if they don't get that he's being sarcastic, they're gonna think, oh, it's not a bad thing, perhaps.
Yeah. So that's Schiff, and look, Schiff is running for Senate against Katie Porter and Barbara Lee in California. Katie Porter and Barbara Lee are far more progressive. Adam Schiff is so conservative economically that our members have been asking you all day long, is this the Republicans trying to help Adam Schiff win that election because he gets to raise a ton of money by going, I'm the victim of the Republicans. Having said all that,
and that's why he's thanking them.
Yeah, well, that's true. He's probably raised like $1 million at least from this, so he's got to be thanking them big time. And that was real. But guys, having said all that, of course this is wrong. Adam Schiff is right. Adam Schiff didn't do anything wrong. He disagrees with them politically. Now you're censoring people for disagreements? That doesn't make any sense at all. Like the Republicans are such jackasses. There's nothing to debate. Well, how am I supposed to debate? Well, we didn't like what he said. We didn't censure him. No, censure was supposed to be for criminal activity or something outrageous.
True,
right?
But just counterpoint of that, did he not go on TV repeatedly and say, I have evidence that Trump himself colluded with Russia and that evidence did not materialize? That's a pretty bold statement to make. If
Are you kidding me? Then great, let's censure all the politicians. They're all liars. Okay, here, ask any of them. Did your corporate donations affect your vote? Oh no, censure. Censure, 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 okay? They're all liars. And in that case, look, Adam Schiff, who knows what he meant by evidence, etc. And by the way, they make it seem like Trump's, like Robert Mueller proved that the Russians didn't do anything in the 2016 election. No, Robert Mueller said the Russians did interfere in the election and they did it to help Trump. All he said was Trump didn't do anything back, right? Like meaning within the election, a quid pro quo, right? He might have done things back later when he was president, but he didn't do it during the election. And by the way, I agree with that conclusion. But Schiff saying he's got evidence that however he phrased it about the Russians interfering in that election isn't even wrong. If he says he had evidence that Trump actively colluded with it, yeah, that's wrong. I would put that in the bucket of tens of thousands of lies that they say every day in Congress.
And speaking of lies every day in Congress, leading up to this vote to censure Schiff, Democratic Rep. Dan Goldman made a comparison of Adam Schiff to Republican George Santos, who was literally just arrested for alleged financial crimes.
One of my colleagues says, "We will hold members accountable." You are the party of George Santos. Who are you holding accountable? The guy is an alleged and acknowledged liar and indicted, and you protect him every day. Don't lecture us with your projection and your defense of Donald Trump. It's pathetic, and it's beneath you, and it's beneath this body, and I yield back.
Well made point. Nonetheless, Republicans like Lauren Boebert, one of the brilliant minds in our government, called for Schiff to leave Congress altogether.
If Adam Schiff has a shred of human decency left, he would resign from Congress in disgrace.
I mean, first of all, if you do resign, you don't resign in disgrace yourself. You probably don't think it's disgraceful. In response to antics like those and their pathetic desire to defend dear Donald Trump, Adam Schiff had some very choice words.
The question, my Republican colleagues, is not why am I the subject of this false resolution for doing my constitutional duty, but why are you not? Why are you not standing beside me, the subject of a similar rebuke for speaking the truth? Why did you not stand up to Donald Trump? Why did you not reject his immorality? Why did you not condemn his dishonesty? Why did you not speak out when his horde attacked this Capitol, or now when he treats the nation's secrets with such carelessness, lawlessness, and disdain? Why did you hide from efforts to hold him accountable? Why were you silent, afraid, unwilling to do your ethical, constitutional duty? Why did you cower? Why did you cower? And why do you still?
Why? Because they just want power and money and have no morals.
Problem solved. We figured it out. Solved it. Okay, so look, Dan Goldman's a corporate Democrat too, but he gives good speeches and I like it. At least he fights back against Republicans. Fair credit where credit is due. Look, here's what I would have done. And Schiff's speech is perfectly fine, okay? So I'm not criticizing him for it. But I'm more of a blunt instrument. I would have been like, we're talking about lying? We're talking about lying, okay? You guys went along with a fake elector scheme. You tried to overthrow our democracy because you're all of you are a bunch of goddamn liars. And then I would have listed names, McCarthy and the others. Liar, believed in fake electors, fake electors, fake electors.
Didn't believe, pretended to believe.
Yeah, so no, spare me your crocodile tears about lying, you trash heap of liars that form the entirety of the Republican Party. And so, and look, Democrats suck at this overall, okay? Because on this January 6th thing, they keep saying like the insurrectionists and the horde that came into the party, No, you have to focus on fake electors. They literally had fake electors. When you hear fake elector, you go, oh yeah, those guys are lying. Oh my God, they were trying to overthrow the election. Oh my God, they hate democracy. No, every day they should be talking about fake electors, hate democracy, bunch of fascists. Why did you know who comes up with fake electors? Fascists do. I censure all of you, okay? I'm a blunt instrument, but he was polite and it was a fine speech.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.